Okay, so we're going to be using these prefixes like I talked about, so you need to familiarize yourself with the prefixes. So definitely get these copied down in your notebook. All right, so how do you write the chemical formulas then? So again, if it's covalent, we're going to use these prefixes. Now, what if it's ionic? Remember, an ionic compound is a compound that is formed between a metal and a nonmetal. And just like the puzzles that we did, you have to make the overall charge on that compound 0. So for example, we know that sodium, when we did the puzzle, sodium had a +1 charge and chlorine had a -1 charge. And so they're able to balance each other out. We only need one sodium with one chlorine because he's a +1 and he's a -1. They're balanced out. Now, magnesium is in group 2, which means it has 2 valence electrons. And if you go back to your periodic table and move your finger up to the top of the periodic table, we put a +2 on that periodic table. We wrote a +2 over the top of magnesium. Chlorine, we wrote a -1 over the top of chlorine. So we wrote a +2 on magnesium, we wrote a -1 on chlorine. So we're going to need 2 negatives to balance out the 2 positives. Okay, so this would be MgCl2 because chlorine is only -1, magnesium is +2, so I need 2 negatives to balance out the 2 positives. We'll do more of these in class, so if you need to kind of see it, we'll practice this in class, so don't worry. Just kind of try to write down the notes right now, and we'll practice this in class. All right, so let's do a little bit of practice right now. So let's decide if these guys are ionic or covalent right now. So the first one is called sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide. Well, first thing, there's 2 ways to know. First thing, let's look at sulfur. Find sulfur on your periodic table. If you find it, you'll notice that sulfur is a non-metal. The other part of this is oxide, which sounds a lot like oxygen. And oxygen on your periodic table is also a non-metal. So we have 2 non-metals, so this must be covalent. However, if you want to be even faster about it, look at right here. It has a tri. Okay, there's a tri right there. And the tri is a giveaway too because tri is a prefix. And we learned that anytime we use a prefix, that's going to be for covalent stuff. Okay, right here I said whenever you do covalent, you're going to use prefixes. So anytime I look at a name, if I spy a prefix in it, right away I know that it's covalent. Okay? All right, let's do this next one, calcium fluoride. Calcium, if I find it on my periodic table, calcium is a metal. Fluoride sounds a lot like fluorine, and fluorine is a nonmetal. I have a metal and I have a nonmetal, and I know that that must be ionic because ionic bonds form between metals and nonmetals. All right, and then finally, we have phosphorus pentachloride. Phosphorus pentachloride, I could look up these elements, but you know what, I'm just going to kind of cheat, and I'm going to say, hey, I see a prefix right there, penta. Penta. And because I see a prefix, right away, I know that it's covalent. Okay, now for each one I'm going to write the correct chemical formula. Let's go ahead and do that one in class. It's a little bit easier for me to show you in class. So we're going to skip this part of the video right now, but please remind me in class. We'll come back to it and we'll take these 3 elements right here, or sorry, these 3 compounds, and we'll write out their correct chemical formulas. Okay? All right, so we're going to stop right here, and I want you to just make sure that you've got all that good stuff on your circle map. And also, please remember to go into the Blackboard discussions and answer the Blackboard discussion on this. All right, I will see you guys in class, and yeah, take good notes. Talk to you later. Bye.